If we look at the terrorists we're up against, it's not that hard to believe we haven't been attacked again. Let's take a closer look at these terrorists in our midst. Lyman Ferris reportedly wanted to bring down the Brooklyn Bridge with a blowtorch. The extent of his planning for this massive operation was researching the bridge online and asking a friend if he knew where to buy some welding equipment. His plan was to bring down the bridge by cutting through the massive suspension cables with a blowtorch while no one was looking. Apparently, even he realized how absurd this plan was. He sent a message to his friends calling the plot off, saying, "The weather is too hot." There was a plot to attack Fort Dix. They were planning on attacking the heavily fortified military base by sneaking in as pizza delivery men, attacking the well-armed soldiers and then retreating. Since the men didn't have any military training, they decided to prepare by going to a gun range. They filmed themselves shooting guns and yelling, "Allah Akbar, God is the greatest." They wanted to put the footage onto a DVD, but had no idea how to do it, so they dropped it off at a local circuit city to be transferred. The video technician called the police. There was a plot to blow up the Sears Tower. The FBI recorded this high-level terrorist plot as the group of 7 men were smoking marijuana. Their informant in the group was crucial in setting things up. The men wanted to plan the attack and take pictures of the Sears Tower, but had no money. The FBI helped them out by buying them cameras and renting a car for them to get to the target. The FBI even rented them a warehouse to plan things from. The group had no supplies, so they gave the informant a list of things they needed to carry out the attack. The list included new boots, but oddly enough, no weapons. This led some to speculate that the group intended on kicking the Sears Tower down.
Did the man have any actual contact with any members of Al-Qaeda that you know of?
Any?
No.
Yeah. The answer to that is no.
From reading the indictment, it appears that about a month ago, their plans sort of fell apart. Were they just naive and incompetent? In other words, were you ever afraid that they could really pull off this plot?
There is no immediate threat. We've already publicly announced that there's no immediate threat to facilities in Miami, no immediate threat to the Sears Tower.
In terms of the plans, it was more aspirational than operational.
And people were so on edge that it didn't even take terror plots to bring entire cities to a halt. Sometimes it took nothing more than 2 artists and a cartoon character flipping people off.
Devices scattered across Boston put the city in panic mode. Turns out those devices were part of a TV marketing campaign.
Those packages in question are magnetic lights. They pose no danger.
This is what the fuss is all about, a magnetic billboard for a late-night adult cartoon.
These 2 men brought the city of Boston to a halt.
We got woken up by our ex-roommate's girlfriend who was frantic. She was trying to get in touch with everybody and just saying, "Guys, get out. There's a terrorism scare in your neighborhood. Everybody needs to flee north. Get the fuck out. You know, you're all gonna explode and die in a horrible inferno in just a few seconds." I went down to the T station where all the bomb scare stuff was happening. And all of a sudden I realized this is the little LED advertising signs that we put up. This is what the big deal is. They think that they're dangerous and they're about to blow them up. It was unbelievable. It was like we shut down the entire city of Boston with this cartoon advertising. So we were surrounded with a lot of press. We knew that they were looking for any kind of way to spin this story to make people more afraid. So we just decided to do something that would not let the media exploit the story for fear. That was what our Haircuts in the 70s press conference was about.
But altogether, I want to redirect this onto the topic of haircuts in the 70s because I want to educate myself about it a little bit more. Whatever happens, I feel like my hair is safe at the moment. So any other hair questions are definitely welcome. Hair today, gone tomorrow.
It was a topic that we could talk about. We could give it to the media. We could feed it to them. But there was no way for them to turn this into fear-mongering. There was no way for them to make people more scared with it. Because let's face it, it was kind of silly.